Is everybody ready? Checking connection. Okay, we're just gonna be like,
I know.
surprise guest.
You want me to
You're in that one.
It's like there's no hiding.
nowhere to hide.
We're double doing it
That's
here.
alright.
It is Wednesday, November 17th, and we're double dipping on the Live at the Hives this week. We had one last night with the Hospice Society. If you have missed that, you can see it on our page. And tonight we have another one, but before we get into that, of who this mystery guest is, can't see, everybody over there is wondering like why I'm holding my hand up like this. We have a few things to go over. So, the newsletter comes out tomorrow, as you probably know. If you're not familiar, you can head over to churrobuzz.com and sign up for that. It's a weekly snapshot of all the things that are happening Colchester-wide, from music events, family things, and now with this season, there's a lot of things coming up. We've got Christmas markets now until probably right till Christmas, and you are going to get all the details in the weekly newsletter. Sign up at churrobuzz.com or on the Facebook page. You can do that as well. It's still Kindness Week. If you haven't seen that, you can grab the Churrobuzz Kindness business card from our social media, or you can find physical ones around. We've got them at the library, Novelty, can't remember where else, but there's a bunch of locations, and you can pick one of those up and complete as many things off it as you can. Let us know. Do some nice things for people and make their week. We're also doing prize draws all this week from businesses around Colchester that have donated amazing prizes for people who have done acts of kindness. So check out those posts and see how you can win or reward someone, make their day. Kindness Week goes right till Saturday. It is also the season of Christmas drives, so we have been doing a project all year called the Churrobuzz Give Back Project, where we've been donating hours of our time each month to a different not-for-profit organization, and we have many coming up in December. So last year, you may remember, we did the Senior Citizens Christmas Card Drive, and it was wildly successful. We had so many cards. And basically, we wanted to make sure all the seniors who were in homes with possibly restricted visiting rights were able to get Christmas cards from people, and you guys showed up like crazy with Christmas cards for seniors that we got delivered to homes all through Colchester County. So we're going to be doing that again. Stay tuned for that. We're also going to be doing a toiletry drive. I don't want to call it that, but I don't know what else to call it. So someone who saw our Christmas card drive last year said, you know what seniors really need? When they have people in homes that don't necessarily have people buying for them or visiting, they could really use shampoos, conditioners, and body wash, because when they don't have people bringing it for them, they often have to use the stuff that just comes with the facility, which isn't quite as nice. So we're going to be organizing a drive for that stuff too, so stay tuned for that. And we have so much going on in December. We have a special art project we're doing with the community, which we're going to announce next week. You're going to want to watch for this. So I don't think we'll be doing a live for it, but we will definitely announce it next week, and I'm really excited about that. Okay, that was everything. Thank you for sticking with me with that. Okay, so now let's talk about who we have in studio. In studio. You're good. Keep turning. We're just rearranging our two different medias here if you're watching on both. Sorry. All right, there we go. So, you may recognize these fabulous people from the Cobequid Dance Academy. Why don't we start here and introduce ourselves down the line?
Hey, I'm Melissa. I own the joint.
I can't talk in real life.
Hi, it's me. Hi.
And next to you?
I'm Emma Purdy. I'm Sarah. I'm Jamie.
I'm Jack.
And you guys are cast members of this year's Nutcracker play. How exciting. But not your first year, right?
No.
How many years have you done it? Do you want to start with you?
Yeah, this is my 10th and final year.
Oh my gosh.
It's my 4th year.
Wow.
It's also my 4th year.
This is my second year.
Ooh, wow, that is incredible. And you know what's funny? So all of the years they've been doing that dance, and they're nervous to do this live.
It's different.
And, I mean, I'm flattered. I'm going to take it as flattery. So, okay, so you're watching for comments? Because unfortunately with the new live format, I can't see the comments unless I lose the screen, and then I don't want to do that. I know, it's really annoying. Yeah. But anyway, so this is the first year you guys have gotten to do Nutcracker in 2 years, has it been?
So, well, actually, thankfully we only missed one Nutcracker. So we did 2019, missed 2020.
Mm-hmm. All right, it's 2021.
Yeah, I know. All of a sudden.
How'd that happen?
What the heck? So thankfully it's only been one, but it's a nice opportunity to change things up a little, look at it with fresh eyes, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you're not doing the same production that you've done in the past, is that correct?
No, so every couple of years we change the theme a little bit. So way back, because this is actually I want to say it's our 17th Nutcracker in the community.
Wow.
Yeah, and so we used to do the the classic Victorian era, and then we went to like an animal themed one for a couple of years.
Yeah. It's my first one.
Okay, yeah, and then there was
I love
after
that.
the animal theme. Is that when we did the
The
Nova
Nova
Scotian
Scotian.
theme?
We did
So we did the Nova Scotian theme twice.
I think
right?
that was the first, well, one of those is the first year that I went.
Okay, and then for the past 3, it's been
So, yeah.
1920s.
Yeah.
So now we've come back to the Victorian era, which is fun because
Mhm.
it allows us to play with the storyline a little bit, and we added a new beginning to it. So there's a prologue, which is more about the origin story of the Rat King himself.
Ooh, I
yes.
love that.
Yeah, so it's just a fun little. Yeah, it's fun. I don't want to give anything away.
Well, I know. It's why like we want
Yeah.
to allude to that you're going to want to check this out, but we don't want to give it away. Do we have any comments so far? No, good. Okay. So, I know. People, I mean, come on. I'm wearing a reindeer sweater. I know you can't see it, but those two. I love how you've been doing it for 17 years, but you're still super excited to bring it to the stage again.
Yes, and I'll let you guys talk a little bit about that because I have lots I could say, but you guys
Well,
are actually in it, so.
I'm really curious. So 10 years, so you've done all of these different versions.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite?
Definitely the Victorian.
What about it?
Well, I did it when I was younger and stuff, and I definitely, like, it's my last year, so it's very exciting to bring that back.
Mhm.
No
And,
kidding.
Yeah.
What about you guys? Do you have a favorite rendition that you've had so far?
I kind of really like the animal one just because it was my first one, and I'm kind of making the connections. Like the dance I was in my first year, the music that we used for that dance is now the music that I'll be using like for my last dance, which is kind of cool.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so amazing. No.
I love it.
I love it.
And then the next year I was a rat for the first time, and now I have Rat King.
Yes, Sarah's our rat.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
And what about yourself?
I think I'm with Emma. I like the big Victorian.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And you?
I'm with these two. I like the Victorian.
Yeah. I mean, you could have so many more to go with it just being 2 years in, right?
But he's in grade 11.
Oh.
He's only got 1 more year.
Well, I mean, hey, we'll have to blow it out the water next year, right?
Yes. Yeah, and it's fun with the Victorian one because the costumes, like these big gowns
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
crinolines
I
and,
would love that.
and all of that is really fun. I mean, the
And-
1920s is gorgeous, but
Yeah, the maid is back, which I also love, and I'm like the sugar plum and the maid. So
Yes.
I'm really excited too.
Interesting.
We haven't done that in a couple of years, so I'm really excited to do
yeah,
that.
in our 1920s one, the family party was a little bit more like, I don't know what the word is. They didn't have a maid and a butler, but they
Right.
do in the
Yeah.
Victorians. Very Downton Abbey,
Yeah.
in the
Right.
Victorian one, whatever. Don't come at me for getting my eras wrong. I'm just saying, because I don't know. I don't actually know. But yeah, it adds a bit of play with the storyline exactly, which is great.
That's so fun. So do you guys going into separate, like, do you go after different characters every year, or do you try to play the same one? How does that work?
Well,
Do you want to tell them how that process works?
Yeah.
it's not up to us at all.
Let's pretend it is. I mean, well, how do you audition for different parts, and then it's not necessarily one you get? Is that how it works? I am not in dance. I've never been, except for when I've done things with you. So,
Yeah, so we had audition at in September,
Mhm.
beginning of September, before we even start actual dance classes. So that's our first thing back into dance, which is crazy because we're doing
A
a
little
bunch
bit.
of poem, a bunch of
Yeah.
all this
Yeah.
thrown into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a bunch of separate auditions, and you kind of just audition for what you want to go for. Normally, I think most of us just audition for everything so
Yeah.
that we.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah.
So,
we do a group audition, which
Okay.
would be if you want to be in the show, come to this audition. And then there's specialized ones for Clara, for the Prince, for Sugar Plum Fairy, and depending on who shows up for those auditions, that's how we cast. And we also cast or I should, how do I want to explain this? Like Clara's role, for example. And Jamie is Clara. Jamie's Clara.
I was like, I'm going to assume that's you.
Yes. And so it's not always the same every year. So once we cast, we choreograph the role for the dancer that's cast. So it's not that these guys are also repeating the same choreography every year.
Oh, interesting.
Because somebody might be especially skilled at jumping, so we're going to put more jumps in that role, or their point work might be really strong, so there's harder point work. So that's
do you do that?
kind of
Like
it.
you do the choreography for that?
Yeah, it's me and Katie McFarlane and Amanda Larusic and Michaela Chris and Chris Green.
Oh, it's quite the team.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's a whole team.
And Shauna. It's a
And
lot.
Shauna, yes, and Shauna. So the whole
I cut her off,
faculty-
Shauna. Sorry, I cut her off.
So it's definitely a collaborative effort, and we, like one teacher might get like, you choreograph the, the tea dance, and then I might watch it later and make changes, or I choreograph the chocolate dance, and then Michaela was like, let's change this part. So we definitely play off each other, and it's very collaborative, which I think makes it more fun for you guys too, because then it's easy.
Yeah.
Is it though?
Yes, I know. Emma's doing the hardest sugar plum variation, technically, that we've ever done.
How does that feel?
Stressful.
Yeah.
No
Definitely.
kidding.
I've been like Clara before, and I feel like that's more comfortable for me. But the sugar plum variation is like,
Wow.
it's crazy.
Super exciting.
Yeah.
And you're doing a lot of shows this year.
Yes, we're doing 4.
I was gonna say, and so you've never done 4 before?
No, we've done 3, but I added a 4th just to give people just a bit more.
Just to stress the
just
staff out as
everything,
much as
right?
possible.
But also these guys work so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd love to do a week of shows if it could be supported, right? Because it's also you'd be exhausted,
Mm.
But for the amount of work that goes in, it's 3 September, October. It's 3 solid months of rehearsals.
And we missed a year, so
And we missed a
Why
year.
not
Making
try
up for it.
one
More,
more?
an additional show.
Yeah.
Nicole Leonardton says that she's so excited to see it.
She won too.
Oh, so have you done more giveaways or?
So yeah, we did the mall one, and
Okay.
Nicole won that. So it was come meet the cast. So these guys spent 4 hours at the mall in full costume, full makeup,
fancy
saying
schmancy.
hello to everyone.
That's
And
awesome.
then-
That's a great idea though.
Yeah, and it's so great because we can't do a backstage thing where you can come back and meet the dancers. I mean, these guys come out sort of afterward, usually at the show, but just it's a nice way for kids to just walk up and not be
That's
right.
true.
Like it's,
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. I do remember.
But yeah, we have another giveaway going on. It'll end on the 23rd, but every day in 2 different downtown businesses, there are hidden 2 golden nutcrackers.
Oh yes. That we thought we could do that. I'm like, where are we gonna hide it? And people don't come in here.
Right.
It's like it'd be so obvious. It's like on the yellow couch or something.
Although some places have made it obvious, which is
Yeah.
fine, and then you just scan the QR code and enter the contest. So
That's
at the end,
super
we'll
fun.
draw for 2 tickets.
What a great idea. I love that.
Yeah.
Did you decide where they were gonna be hidden?
No, I just drop them off.
Okay.
I don't even drop them off. Let's be really clear. I had this idea and I was like, this is great. And then I went, oh, so for 2 weeks, I'm going to have to get up in the morning and go and drop it off and then pick it up. So my sweet, most excellent Jen Felix, who's watching, Jen Felix, she's the one who's really doing all the work.
Amazing. Good for you for passing that along. So if you're interested in catching a show, it's going to be on December 3rd, 4th, and 5th. On Friday the 3rd, it's going to be 7 p.m. On Saturday the 4th, you can see 2 p.m. or 7 p.m. I'm not even on screen. And on Sunday, it's at 2 p.m. And where can you get tickets, Melissa?
So at www.cobequiddance.com.
Mm-hmm. And at the door if there's any left.
Yeah.
Don't take your chances.
Right? I know.
They haven't had one last year. They're bringing back a new style. You don't want to be upset when you show up at the door and can't get in.
Exactly. We'll shame you.
I know. So you have the one draw. They can still offer just the one, the Find the Golden Nutcracker?
Yes. Yes, I think that's it.
If there's more, we'll find it and put it in the newsletter,
Yeah, awesome.
which you can sign up for at trobuzz.com.
I
you.
subscribed.
Yeah, you did. Well, that's fantastic. So, after taking the year off have you ever been in the Nutcracker production yourself?
Yes, I have.
I'd pay a lot.
No.
I would pay a lot more money to see that. I want to get the teachers in.
I know what it is.
Who
the
were you?
prince.
I was the prince.
Oh.
Did you have your page boy haircut then?
No, I had a wig. And I had a fake name in the program and everything. My name was Gil Webster.
Did you know that?
It was like
I'm gonna start
ago.
calling you Gil. I just need you to
loved
know
it.
that.
And yeah, it was a good time. Who was Clara that year? It was, I think it was Julia McClellan, maybe, and Becky McIsaac was Sugar Plum.
Doesn't the prince have to lift Clara?
Oh yeah. Listen,
Flex
I'm
it in.
not saying I was good at being the prince, but I was the prince because we didn't have any guys. We had none, and now we have. Oh, let me tell you who we have actually. So we have Jack, who's the prince. Awesome. So there's loads of partnering between Jack and Clara.
Jack, do you feel extra
Jack.
pressure now, knowing that Gil Webster once played the prince?
He's
A little bit, a
topped
little bit.
me already by a lot. Listen. And then Emma's partnered by Jordan Burns. So
Oh, yeah.
they have a pot de deux. And there's pot de cat at the end, which is Prince and Clara and Sugar Plum and her Cavalier. Also, Jack partners Sarah because she's the Rat King and he's the Prince, and they fight. So they have a whole like pretty intense battle scene. Zeno partners Lily in Chocolate and Brianna in the Russian trade.
Oh, I love
dance.
that.
Yep. And who else do we have? Chris Green, who is on faculty this year. Chris actually graduated from the studio a long time ago. He did his BFA in dance at Ryerson and danced professionally for a bit. Now he's back in Truro teaching.
Lucky
for us.
us.
And he's gonna be, and he's in the Nutcracker.
Yeah.
He's
And
in Waltz of the Flowers.
Joel partners
Joel!
in Snow.
Joel partners in Snow. We have like, how lucky are we?
That's
to
so
have
great.
all of this.
So you see a lot more men and guys in ballet now than you did before.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And I think just like really the athleticism that's required
Yes.
it's incredible.
Yeah.
And it filters into everything in your life. Do you want to talk about it at all? Because you're living it. I'm just over here.
How difficult has it been?
Also, how difficult is it to be like
Tell us about your pain.
these like A-type personality?
Wow. I've been working really hard. Lots of strength training to lift Jamie,
Yeah.
to lift Sarah.
Yeah.
But it is a lot of fun to get to work with another person, and I think a dance with two is just a completely different dynamic than just a solo.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I bet that's
Yeah.
totally different and much more demanding of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot more
Yeah.
trust with a person when
Yeah.
they're throwing you through the air.
Mm-hmm.
On their own.
No
Yeah.
kidding. Were you in ballet before the 2 years you've been doing Nutcracker, or was it just the last 2 years?
Yeah, I was.
Mm-hmm. And then you just decided to try out for the Nutcracker?
Yeah.
Good for you.
That's basically
And here you are, the prince of the production. Amazing. That's good.
Exactly.
How surprised were you to get the Rat King?
Very. I was very pleased because I have my Rat King role and then I have a Queen role in Tea. So I was really glad to have both like the fast like jazz stuff, and then I also
Right.
get my pretty like princess tutu.
Yeah.
So I also get that
Quite
too.
beautiful.
I
do love
bet.
it. But I'm saving that for the show. And yeah, I was very surprised, but it was like a very happy surprise because I feel like I was secretly like really hoping for it
Really?
deep down, but I didn't want to like say that I wanted it.
Gotta put it out in the
Yeah.
universe.
I know, I didn't want to say it because then I didn't want to like chance it, but then when I like read cast list, I was pretty happy.
That's awesome. And were you hoping for Clara?
No, actually, it was really surprising. Like, obviously, I would love to be Clara, but when I went into the audition, I was like, I don't think I wasn't thinking that I was gonna.
It's a pretty big deal.
But, like,
surprise.
yeah, it was a good surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. And I guess you've done just about all of them at this point.
Yeah. I've been Clara twice, and I have also been Sugar Plum before, so This
Super
year was
fun.
just making everything really, really hard and challenging.
Were you Sugar Plum in the Victorian era before?
No.
No, fine. When,
I
what
don't
was
think
the?
any of you have done the Victorian, have you? Sorry to
Were you
interrupt.
sleeping child, like for your first? Yeah, like a long time ago.
So you did a Victorian one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like probably my first and second year.
Okay.
And this production age ranges all of the students that you teach, right? Like, what's the youngest up to the oldest?
7? 6 or 7?
Six, I think. Flora's is that the
Flora 7, but yeah.
Okay. And then Chris, of course, is like a full-on adult.
It's like we won't
I don't know
age Chris.
is.
Sorry, Chris.
25 maybe? I don't
Yeah,
know.
we just forever young at heart.
Exactly. Yep. So lots of age ranges.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah,
like, not
sorry.
long now.
I know.
Are you at the point where you're counting down the days?
Yeah, we do have a countdown at the
Literal-
studio.
How many days
Every
are we
time
at?
we walk into the studio,
Yes,
it's like,
there.
no,
Mm.
it's not that close.
Yeah, and it's been a lot. We sort of have benchmarks that we'd like to meet at a certain point in the year, and this year has felt very.
Yeah.
But it's a smaller cast this year, which is actually great. But it means that there are more kids doing multiple roles as opposed to like because I think we're at like 60 in the cast. Normally we have
Wow.
I'm looking at Kelly. I think like 92
Oh,
or 93
really?
the last Nutcracker.
So, like, lower enrollment, or
No, just I think just
that's a huge,
you know, like every
Yeah.
year is a little different. I love that it's a smaller cast.
Mhm. Well, I'm sure it makes it easier
Way
for.
easier to manage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But
I mean,
it-
a little
yeah.
more, but
Oh my gosh, it's just meant more rehearsal time is not spent. Like I can't go. You go over there,
Right.
Because I also need you over here. So
Yeah.
it's just
Mhm.
It's been so our nerves are a little. I think.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I bet.
And
I
we
bet.
had a year off, so yeah.
That's true.
Yep.
Was it kind of sweet to have that one year where you weren't like?
It's everything feels very different. It's like so much busier this year because we had that year off, and I feel it's like a little bit overwhelming, but it's still good. It's still so good to be back.
I bet.
We were in I vividly remember we were in like a jazz class last year. We were sitting. We're like, we would be doing dress rehearsal right now,
Yeah.
like tech rehearsal. Like we would
Right.
be there, and it was just a very like it was sad, and it just kind of made us reflect on like we're at the studio today, not at CEC.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
I think it did overall for a lot of these kids really solidify for them how important it is for them to be performing. Like it's such a privilege to be able to be on stage, and when that space is not accessible, that's like it's pretty hard. It's
This
like
is
And it's such a big chunk of your life.
yeah,
It is.
and this is like the first performance in like
Yeah.
over a year for a lot of us.
Yeah, which makes it even more exciting.
No
Yeah.
kidding.
And scary at the same time.
You're very excited to get back on stage and have a full audience.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I know.
You will.
I'm
You
just-
totally will. Totally going to be a full audience. So if you missed that, we're here with cast members of this year's Nutcracker from Cobequid Dance Academy. There are still tickets available. It's going to be December 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and you have 4 shows to choose from. You can get your tickets at the website
www.cobequiddance.com.
or at the door by chance.
Big chance.
Big chance. It's going to be amazing.
We got a couple comments on Instagram.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So Allison Lindsay said that she can't wait.
Woohoo!
Amanda LaRusick said they're all watching at the studio.
Go home!
Yeah. And Line 3 Firefly said
That's
yes.
yes.
This thing so exciting. Great job, dancers.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to come in here. I know your schedule is jam-packed. We greatly appreciate it. We can't wait to see you on stage, and I have never seen the Victorian era, so this is exciting.
Yay. We're
Very
excited.
exciting.
Yay.
Check them out for sure. And also, I forgot to mention that we have the holiday buzz boxes out. So if you're Christmas shopping early, you definitely want to check this out at churrobuzz.com, or you can find the link for it in this week's newsletter, which comes out tomorrow.
Yay.
Have a good week, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Have a good week. We'll catch you around.
Do I make you dance now?
I did wear the dance shorts.